Besides then good equipment. First one is good equipment, second one is standardized recipes, then third one, last one is the good service management. Then timing, when we will cook the large amount of food, then timing is we will take more time. Then when we will take less amount of food, then we will take less timing. Then it is the flow chart of processing of food production. It is very important. First we will prepare menu, then we should collect the ingredients which is needed for our to preparing for menu. Then we'll selection of food. Food must be selected. Selection of food means cereal based product, pulses based product, green and leafy vegetables, non-veg items, veg items, etc. Selections of food. Then weighing and measuring according to the standardized recipe. Then whatever menu we are going to prepare, then we should take the standardization measurement or quantity of the products while preparing menu. Then preliminary treatment of food pre-preparation method and processes. Then pre-preparation method, we should marinating, we should cutting, we should washing, boiling, etc. It is pre-preparation method and processes. It is very much important to manage our time also. Then cooking technique, whether we are going to cook non-veg item, veg items, desserts items, etc. Then cooking techniques are also there. Then last one is finished product. We will deliver to the market. It is the flow chart of processes of food production. Then collecting ingredients. What are the collecting ingredients are there? In large quantity of food production preparation, collection of ingredients is done on the day previous to preparation. Then one day before we are preparing, we are going to prepare one menu. Before one day or previous day, we should collect the ingredients. This is because some items have to be collected from the stores, while others are delivered directly to the kitchen, such as milk and milk products, fresh fruits and vegetables. Timely collection also enables early preparation of next morning. Then we will collect some milk and milk products. It is We will collect it in fresh form or in instant form. We should collect milk and milk product, otherwise it will be destroyed. Then cereals and pulses items we should collect on the one day previous. Then this helps to start up the next day without wasting time. Without wasting time without wasting time, we should collect some of the food items in instant form, or we will collect it from one day previously. Then further, in the event of cook or assistant being absent the next day, the work goes on for planning. Plan making is easier for other to handle the jobs without picnic. Then selection of food. It is collection of ingredients. It is selection of food. The condition of food when it is brought into kitchen has a great deal with the result obtained. Ingredient must be most expensive, but does not mean that all food be fresh and proper stage of maturity of the cooking. Then selection of foods means we should going to prepare and dish regarding dalma or mixed vegetable curry. Then we should collect the fresh vegetables or colorful vegetables instantly, or roots and tubers will we should collect it from one day before, because it will not destroy. And then in fresh form and dal also we will collect it from one day before. Then tomatoes are very tomatoes like vegetables we should collect instantly, etc. We will prepare while preparing dalma, then we'll collect it according to the menu. Then weighing and measuring is very important. We should weigh. Then preliminary treatment of food. Preliminary treatment of food means mechanical treatment such as highlighting come to the pre-preparation method process we carry out before cooking. Pre-preparing method means cutting, slicing, then pounding, then mashing, rolling, similar to mechanical procedure, must be planned systematically for the particular food handling before cooking. Before cooking, pre-prepared methods we should follow. For to uh, in pre-preparation method, we should Mm, for time management, it is very much good. It is very much good when we will prepare the food items before preparing one menu. ମାନେ ମେନୁ କରିବା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ପ୍ରି ପ୍ରିପେୟାରିଂ ପ୍ଲାନିଂ ଯଦି ଆମେ କରିବା, କାଟିବା, ଚୋପା ଛଡ଼େଇବା, ଧୋଇବା, ଡ୍ରାଇଂ କରିବା, ପାଉଣ୍ଡିଂ କରିବା, ଦେନ୍ ଆମେ we will manage our times in proper way, right? Then soaking, seasoning and so there in pre-preparing method, food production to achieve customer satisfaction. Then to enhance our nutritive value while preparing menu, soaking is very much important, because after soaking, when we will using the food or when we will use in cooking, then it will absorb the nutrient value, or it will retain the nutritive value which is good for our health. तो सोकिंग कले कौन हम आम जिते न्यूट्रिएंट्स ता देहरे थाए, आयरन कैल्शियम जिंक एटा सब जोटा यूजफुल मिनरल्स at the time of soaking, এটা कौन हुए ना से न्यूट्रिएंट बॉडी एब्जॉर्ब करे, बॉडी will absorb very efficiently when we will follow the soaking method. Then cutting is also pre-preparing method. Then grinding for when we will using the when we will use the spices, condiments, etc. Then grinding is important. When we will prepare on vada items, when we will prepare the pancakes or idlis, then grinding is very much useful. Then pounding is also there. Then stirring, then peeling, then rolling of chapatis, rotis or puris. Then rolling is very much essential. Then sprouting from it enhances our nutrients more because it contains all types of B vitamins or B12. Then molding, when we will give for attraction for our when we will take food, attraction, eye catching is also very important. That's why molding is important. We should mold the food items and give the stuffings into it. Then it also of variety of shapes also we should prepare in variety shapes. Then mashing means while we're preparing aloo bhattas or etc., we should mash it well before cooking. Basic cookery process and their applications to quantity production. Then basic cookery processes are moist heat, one is boiling, one is simmering, one is poking, stewing, blanching, steaming and pressure cooking. It is healthier, it is this is all these types of food processing unit or pre-cooking methods are very much useful for our when we are going to plan a menu. Then dry heat means roasting of papads, roasting of chapatis, grilling and broiling, toasting, baking, sorting, frying, microwave cooking, etc. Then combination method is braising. These are the different cooking methods we are using while preparing one menu. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ menu prepare କରୁଛୁ, we are using this kind of cooking methods. One is moist heat is there, one is dry heat is there, then another one is combination method, dry and moist. Then in moist heat method, boiling is cooking food by just immersing them to water at 100 degree Celsius and maintaining the water at the temperature till food is tender. When the water boils, then when our vegetables or food materials are tender or soft in nature, then we stop our cooking. It is known as boiling of potatoes. When hard potatoes were seems to be very soft and tender, then the cooking is over. Water is said to be boiled when large bubbles are rising constantly surface of the liquid. When the bubbles are coming out on the surface of the water, then we will check the food is already cooked or in very soft in texture. Then by bringing the water or liquid to bubbling point and adding the food to be cooked. and allow the liquid to bubble again till the food is going. When we'll accept, when we'll follows the boiling food materials for boiling, then first of all we heat the water till the bubbles flows on the surface of the water. Then we will add the food materials so that it will takes less time to boil by adding the food to water liquid and heating to the water. Then second one is simmering. When food are cooked at temperature just below the boiling point, our boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. Then then when the we will cook food and just below the boiling point, just less than 100 degrees Celsius of the liquid in which they are immersed, the process is known as simmering. In very low temperature, we should add the food materials and covered with a lid so that it will in less heat, the food will be cooked. In simmering it also the nutritive value of food will not destroyed in simmering process. It tenders in case of cut of meats, Indian puddings like kheer, custards, etc. It takes more time. That's why we will, while preparing kheer, we will cook the kheer in very simmering process or in very low temperature, because it will take the cooking time of this kheer is it taking more times. That's why we will keep it in simmer form. Then cooking. This involves cooking in the minimum amount of liquid at a temperature just below the boiling point. Food generally poached at eggs, fruits, fishes. Food for poaching eggs, the addition of little salt, vinegar to the cooking liquid, lower the coagulation, cooking egg, etc. Then cooking means it also cooking in the minimum amount of liquid at a temperature just below the boiling point. Just below the boiling point, so we should use the water. Then we will add the egg, poached egg, then fruits, fishes. We should cook in a good manner. It is also very nutritious. Extra, we should add salt, vinegar for seasoning or for help in boiling. We should add extra seasoning matters. Then stew. This is the gentle method of cooking in a pan with a tight fitting lid using small quantities of liquid to cover only half the food. Then stewing means have the generator within the pan and cooked in half boiled. We will say as stewing is half boiled. Liquid is thus cooked by steam generated within the pan. When the steam is generated, then it is also known as one as the steaming of the foodstuffs. Then in stewing, the temperature is at 98 degrees Celsius. Then stewing is therefore a slow method taking 2 to 4 hours depending on the nature and volume of food being stewed. Stewed means we should also in simmer form, we will cook the food in simmer form. It takes 2 to 4 hours depending on the nature and quantities of the food. Such as method is used for cooking cheaper cuts of meat along with some roots, vegetables and legumes. We should add some meats item, vegetables items and roots items and some celery sticks. Then we will cover with a half lid and we should cook in a simmer form. It takes 2 to 4 hours. It is known as stew. Then blanching in meal preparation, it is important necessary to peel up the skin of fruits and vegetable nuts etc. without making the food tender. This is achieved by dipping the food in boiling water for varying periods of time, 5 seconds to 2 minutes. Blanching is also very important when fruits and vegetable skins. In some cases, fruits and vegetables skins are needed to remove, and also the skin of the almonds or nuts are also needed to be removed in some cases. In that cases, we should put the vegetables, nuts, fruits into the hot water for 5 seconds to 2 minutes. It depends on the texture of the water, texture of the food. And now boiling water the food immersed into the same time and boiling temperature of the short period of time. Immerse the cold water. Then we should, after soaking some time, soaking in the or in the boiling water, we should add the food materials, food stuffs. Then we will we will leave it for 5 seconds to 2 minutes. Then after that we should discard the hot water and we will add cold water. The process helps to maintain a good texture. In blanching method, we should not, the vegetables color should not be down, or the color should be maintained. It should maintain the good texture, also color and flavor of the food. In addition, removing peel can improve digestibility, eliminates enzymes and microbial activity. It make it safe for consumption in salads, sandwiches, puddings, etc. So blanching is also the very good methods of cooking. It enhances, but it remains the food colors, textures, and also the nutritive value. In steaming, this method requires the food to be cooked in the steam generated from vigorously boiling water or liquid in a pan, so that the food is completely surrounded by steam and not in contact with the water or liquid. Then in a boiling pan, steam is coming out. Then on the upper portion, we should put the foodstuffs on it, so that in steam the foodstuff will be boiled with the help of the steam. steam ତଳେ ଲାଗୁଥିବ, ପାଣି ବଏଲ୍ଡ ହେଉଥିବ, steamଟା ବାଜିଲେ ଉପର ସେଲ୍ଫରେ ଆମେ ଜିନିଷ ରଖିଲେ ସେଟା ୱାଟର କଣ୍ଟାକ୍ଟରେ ଆସିବନି. It will not contact, the food stuff will not in contact with the boiling water. Only just in steam, in the steam of the boiling water will boil the food stuffs, or tender or softness gives to the food stuffs. Then a small establishment can cause double boiler, while some large establishment steamers are available, which may be simple or pressure steaming for cooking of large quantities of food. Best suited is vegetable, fruits, fishes, custard, cereals, generally those who are quickly tender. The method is ideal making idlis, dhoklas, fermented products. We should steam the idlis, should steam the dhoklas, etc. And fermented products, it will give, it will help to steam the foodstuffs. And steaming has certain definite advantage also, making food more digestible. Steaming advantage of steaming is it gives the food more digestible, nutritious and full of flavor. This is because it is not necessary to add fat in the process, and food retains in nutrients better because heating temperature is constant and cooking time is short and leaching minimum. So while we are using steaming process, then cooking timing will be very short, and it is fully nutritious and digestible also, and full of flavor. In this case, there is no need of any oil and fats. That's why it is very much nutritious. Then pressure cooking. This is method of cooking developed on the principle that more heat is generated by steam under pressure and then otherwise, and therefore the volatile flavor compounds remains in the food, and shorter cooking time enhances nutrient retention and palatability. Then pressure cooking is also very much pressure cooker methods develop on the principle that more heat is generated by steam under pressure. Under pressure, the steam is generated, and it takes also less time in cooking. And pressure cooking is the best suited in the food, which enables such as curries, soups, broth, stews, etc. And different types and sizes are adjusted in pressure. It takes less time for cooking. Then pressure cooking, steaming, stewing, blanching, cooking, simmering and boiling. This is the moist heat methods. It is very important questions. You should read it thoroughly about moist heat methods. Then dry heat methods are roasting. Roasting means it may be carried out using 3 equipments when a split containing live coals. In coals, we should dry roast the food materials, and interval during the wooden or heat proof handle on the skewers. Split roasting. Then boti kebabs are placed in the manner for split roasting. We should, with the help of a stick, we should roast the food stuffs. And the method of cooking is split roasting. Then roasting is done in the oven, either electric or an oven known as tandoor, and method known as oven roasting. One is split roasting. We will use one stick to roast the food material. Then another one is oven roasting. Then in this, the meat is placed on the mesh or slotted shelf inserted in the roasting tray. Allow the meat dipping in the fall and takes part in the oven roasting. Usually, large joints of full parts are cooked, etc. The temperature will be preheat oven is 425 degrees centigrade first, placing the meat in it and brown for 5 to 10 minutes and reducing the temperature allowing it to till tender. If only we should manage the temperature, otherwise it will be burned. Then the temperature of 350 degree to 375 degrees Celsius for longer cooking times give a better product than a higher temperature for a short time. If will cooked in a higher temperature, then it takes short time. But if will temperature will be lower temperature, if will cook the food in lower temperature, then the duration will be more. But it test um, but in comparison to high temperature, but taste enhances in low temperature cooking. In then grilling and broiling method. Third method is roasting can also be done in heavy pan if small joints have to be cooked. Then method is known as pan or pot roasting. One is split roasting. We should split the food items in a stick and then we will roast it. Then oven method is there. We will use it at our home. Then one is pan or pot roasting is there. In a mud pot, we should roast the foodstuffs. Sealing the meat surface through the coagulation of surface protein in the dry heat and temperature. We will use the mud pot. Then we will place the foodstuffs. Then we will cover the lids. Then on the lid, we should use the heat. We should put or add or place the heat on the lid of the pot. Then middle of the high temperature, roasted and kadhai containing sand or salt which are continuously heated over a sources of. Then another one is if we will add in a kadhai or in a pan, we should place salt or sand which is good conductor of heat. Then we will place our cooked items on the hot sand or hot salt. लुण आउ बाली गुड कंडक्टर ऑफ हीट थाए ताकू जदि गरम करिकि भी हमें यूज करिबा is one type of dry roasting. We will prepare cakes, we should prepare biscuits, then others meats roasting etc. with this. And also pot माने माटी हांडी भितरे खाइबा जिनस देकी ऊपर सील करिकि ता ऊपरे किछि गोटे हीट रखिबा तो सेटा आ घरे हम ओवन आइटम यूज करूछु. स्प्लिट तो जानी थे कबाब फबाब जोटा यूज करा जाए. देन तार टेम्परेचर भी अच्छी 350 टू 375 डिग्री सेल्सियस जोटा कि आम ओवन रे यूज करूँ. देन ग्रिलिंग एंड ब्रॉयलिंग. देन ग्रिलिंग एंड ब्रॉयलिंग रे द टर्म ग्रिलिंग एंड ब्रॉयलिंग आर यूज सिनोनिमली कुक बाय एप्लीकेशंस ऑफ ड्राई हीट्स and food is placed in the metal grid directly over the sources of the heat and tray placed on the source of heat. Then grilling method, when food is cooked on covered or heat metal or a frying pan method is known as pan broiling. So we will use a metal plate and we should place the food stuffs, then we will grill. Cheese preparation, at the time of pizza preparation we should put the mozzarella cheese on it. Then cheese preparation, cheese like pizza, cheese toast, chops, bacons, tomatoes, capsicums are on the grilled form. We should grill it well. Then toasting. The term toasting is used to describe the process which the bread keeps under the grill or between two heated elements. Or between two heated elements, we should place or should put the bread items, then we will toast it to brown on both sides and become crispy slices. Then it required degree of brownness through temperature control. Automatic model switch off when the present temperature and brownness is reached. Then when the brownish color is seen, then roasted is completed. Toasted is completed. Then baking method. Food cooked by baking involves the use of oven, tandoor equipments in which hot air circulate around the food placed in it. Then at the hot air oven is also now coming to the market. We are also using hot air oven. It is known as baking. Then hot air circulates around the food placed into the oven or tandoor equipment. Then this method of cooking, the action of heat, dry heat is combined with that of steam, which is generated while the food is cooking. Food baked as brown and crispy on top and soft and porous in center. Some dishes baked as cakes, breads, puddings, vegetables, meat dishes, sauces, etc. We should baking it. It will cook in hot air circulation over the materials, foodstuffs. Then sorting. The method involves cooking in just enough fat or oil to cover the base of the pan. The food is tossed occasionally and turned over with a spatula to enable all the pieces of come in contact with the oil and get cooked evenly. Sorting means we will use little amount of we will use little amount of oil or ghee. We will use little amount of oil or ghee. Then we should add the vegetables, fruits or other foodstuffs into it, and then we will stir it lightly. We'll stir and cover, and then trying to cover the all food materials into the oil or fats materials. Then the product obtained in cooking is slightly moist, tender, but without any liquid or gravy. Food cooked by sorting are generally vegetables used as side dish in menu. Sorting can, however, be well combined with other methods of cooking to produce variety of meals. Then it is known as sorting. We should mixed with the oil with the other vegetables or foodstuffs. Then frying. This is method in which food to be cooked in immersed fully or partially in hot fat till it acquires a golden brown color and crisp film. In frying, we should cook the food in hot or boiling oil till it acquires golden in color and crispy filling is also there. When food are completely immersed in fats or oils, the method is known as deep frying. But deep frying is not good for our health because it contains trans fat, which enhances or which increases our cholesterol in our body. That's why deep frying food or frying foods are not good for our health. But in frying, we should put the food stuffs into the boiling, uh, boiling, uh, boiling oil or ghee. Then another one is shallow frying is there. It is used when the food is only partially immersed in fats or oils. Then we will cook the food in partially oil. But in deep fried food, we should use boiling oil. Then selection of right frying medium. Then we should select the right frying medium. Any fat or oil used for frying should be flavorless so that it does not match the natural flavor of the food. Smoking point of the frying medium when fresh should not be less than 220 degrees centigrade. The knowledge of the right frying temperature. Then use of proper frying techniques. We should use proper frying techniques such as look to greasy indicate that it has been fried to low temperature, refined to serve hot. Then proper care and selection of frying equipments. We should also focuses on the frying equipments. Then microwave cooking. Then it is uses in high frequency electromagnetic waves, and we should they be fitted with the magnetic soap placed, and the browning or roasting cycle has been introduced when required in finishing kitchen. In microwave cooking, it is keep in mind that metal reflects the microwave while glass, plastic, paper, china transmits them to the food. We should use while preparing microwave cooking, while we will following the microwave cooking, we should use this type of utensils. Then, in industrial and hospital canteens, where service need to be provided to night staffs and microwave is access to heating up the meals at cold hours in quantities and instantly. Instantly, we should heat the food. We should instantly we should take the food in hot form. That's why microwave is very much good. Then combination method. Braising method. This is method in which roasting and stewing are combined for cooking. We should use as roasting form as well as stewing form. It is a good method of cooking. And braising is a good method especially for cooking meats and Indian curries. In that matter, cooking is very much when we will using the braising method while preparing our menus, then it is also very much good for our health, because in pressure cooking, steamed, etc., it contains our the it should not destroy the color and texture of the food material, so that combination method, rising method is very good. Then what are the types of equipments? It is very important questions for you. um, it is different method of cooking: moist heat method, then dry heat method, then combinations method. Then next we'll go for types of equipments. Then cooking equipments. Cooking equipments can be gas operated or electricals. It are of two types. One is gas operated or another one is electrical methods. Then in double chat kettles, pots, pressure cooker, etc. In a kettles, in electric kettles are also there. In pressure cooker, we should use the gas. Then grills are griddle. You might be aware that flat metal surface such as pan used for cooking by dry heats. Grill on the other hand is a surface of parallel metal bar. Then it should be purchasing is an equipment. Then grill and griddle forms are grilling method. One small metal trays are needed in grill method or griddle method. Size according to the need. When we'll prepare food in a big organization, when we are going to prepare large amount of uh, food menus, then we will use the equipments are also in large size. Then in griller or griddle forms, we should use big amount of equipment, big big shape of equipments. बड़ा बड़ा shape of equipments use करिबा. Size according to the need. Selection, control of heat, then reliable thermostat control, uniform retention of heat, speed of temperature recovery, easy cleaning and mobility for easy to serving. So cooking, when we are choosing the cooking equipments, you should follow these tips: size according to the need, and sectional control of the heat, then easy to cleaning and mobility for use. It is easy to move for mobility, it will be very much easy for us. Then for easy to clean. Then broiler, any equipment that broils is a broiler. A small oven or a part of the stove used for broiling. Then charcoal boilers are there. Flavor from smoke is also there. Then ovens are in a chamber close combating to the heat. Then ovens, when we are using for large entrepreneurship, then we will use commercial ovens. Then when we will prepare menu for a small shops, restaurants, etc., small, then we'll use small ovens. Then suitable range of temperature 40 degree minus 40 degree centigrade to 260 degree centigrade. Then reliable temperature control, thermostat installations. We should follow these tips. Then easy to operation and cleaning also. Then microwave oven. Microwave oven is very much important. And then in microwave oven, we should readily cook the food in instant form. Instant form re microwave oven ta हमको दरकार हुए. Defrosting, frozen and reheating cooked food in second. Within a second, we should recook the food items. Then fast production of individual serving, large amount take much longer. Then these are some dangers also, contraindications also there. These are the radiations, especially in older models, which can be dangerous to cardiac patient with electronic pacemaker. Hello. Good evening. There are some dangers or contraindications are there. These are, it is very the radiations of the microwave ovens and grillers. These rays are very bad to the who are bearing or who is on pacemaker or the cardiac patients. The rays or radiations are very dangerous to these patients. Then mechanical process of cooking. It is the cooking equipment. Then mechanical process of cooking. Vegetables pillars are required. Is vegetables pillars are required to remove the skins of the vegetables. Then revolving choppers are also there. We should chop the food in a very short period of time. Then caution is contraindication is that keep hands away from the bowl and plates. Turn off before cleaning. Before cleaning, we should turn off the container. Then vertical cutter mixture. A vertical cutter and mixture is large like 14 to 75 liter blender and water running through it operates. It chops vegetables, meats, cheese, breadcrumbs, other foods. Then vertical mixtures. Then yeah, it is about 14 to 75 liter blenders. It is the last type of blender. It is used in commercial food entrepreneurship. Then we should chop the meats, cheese in large amount. Then slicing machine is also important. We should slice according to the size, hams, roast, beef, save labor, provide attractive uniform slices. Then it also manage our times. It takes less times to pre-cook in pre-cooked methods. Pre-cooked methods it takes less time when we'll slicing the food materials. It also takes less times. Then mixtures. Mixtures are labor savers in various areas for bakery, whipping potatoes, making mayonnaise, etc. Number in kitchen varies from one in small kitchen to more than one in various areas. Size can vary in capacity from 4 to 75 to 135 liters. Agitator mixtures factor. Standard bitter for mashing, creaming, blending, whip of eggs. Mixtures are also useful in mashing, then creaming, then blending. Whisks of eggs in at the time of egg whisking, then mixture is needed. Whipped creams, frosting, dough hook yeast spread, pantry knife for pastry, sweet dough, arm for yeast mixtures, etc. We should use as in our food quality in food processing unit. Mixtures. Then machine processing equipments are vegetable pillars, revolving strummers, choppers, slicing machines, mixtures, etc. These are the mechanical processing equipments, and non-cooking refrigeration equipments are doors no bigger than necessary, removable and adjustable shelves for ease of cleaning and storage, self-deforestation, and good insulations. Designs are non-cooking by refrigeration equipments are doors no bigger than necessary. Then adjustable or removable for cleaning storages is also required. Cleaning and storage is also important. Self deforestation is there. Then good insulation is designed to features. It should be very much necessary. This is very important chapters. Then food management records and controls. It is also very important what records necessary for a catering unit, which records are very necessary for us. Then first one is budget. Records necessary for a catering unit is first one is budget. Budget is, in other word, a budget is a budget is a systematic plan for the expenditure of a resource of total sum of money allocated for a particular purpose or period of time. It covers the planned activities for the organization for a given period of time. Budget is known as is a systematic plan for the expenditure of a resource or total sum of money allocated for a particular purpose or period of time. For a particular period of time or the or money, we should, in other word, a budget is a systematic. We should plan for a catering unit. When we will plan for a catering unit, we should first of all we will plan for a budget, or we should plan for a investment. This is known as budget, and it should comes. A budget is a systematic. We should plan in a systematic ways that expenditure of a resource of total sum of money allocated particular purpose of time. We should invest our money in a proper way so that the business will be go smoothly, and it is according to our investment, it is according to our capacity. माने बजेट है कि आमर गोटे सिस्टमेटिक प्लान करवा एक्सपेंडिचर पाई कि जोटा आमर फूड कैटरिंग यूनिट पाई कि जो थे कि पर्टिकुलर पीरियड पाई कि आ गोटे पर्टिकुलर सम ऑफ मनी आम तते यूज करि परिबा. इट कवर्स द प्लान एक्टिविटीज ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन for a given period of time, normally a year. Budget are based on factual data of the past record of income, expenditure, census, and labor hours used and takes into consideration changes that may affect future operations. Then the budget will be in our budget what we will maintain. We will maintain the past record of the income. We should maintain the expenditure. We should maintain the census and labor hours used, and takes into consideration change that may affect in future. If the changes, if changes required, then we will change in future. Otherwise we should adjust in that amount in ଆମେ ସେଟା adjust କରିବା. Three distinct steps of budget planning is there: the evaluation phase, then planning phase, then control phase. In evaluation phase, which looks at the past performance and identifies the factor that influence the future. The planning phase means uses the information compiled during the evaluation of forecast the budget. At the time of during the evaluation, we should forecast the budget. It is known as what we will plan for the future. Then control phase means which uses the budget cost during planning to keep track of monthly performance. Control phase means in monthly we should look after the investment and our expenditure is known as control phase. Whether it is controlled or it is over expenditure is there, etc. These are the three types of budget planning. Then what are the step-by-step procedure for preparing a budget? Collect data from current and past records. We should collect the data from the current and past records. Reports of income and expenditures, as well as it is also known as census. Then study this data, evaluate against the goals of the expenditure. We should study the data, or compare the data with the past and present expenditures or past and present profits. Then information report should be operating according to. Then discuss and analyze any and all the factors that may affect future of operations. Then we will discuss and analyze and analyze and all the factors that may affect future operations. Discuss and plan for new goals or activities. Then we should plan for a new goals or plan for a activities. Then fifth one is set priorities and make decisions as to what can be included in the budget for the next year. Then we should give the priorities and make decision what can be included in our future budgets for the next future budgets or for the next year. We should give priority and take decisions. Then write the budget. Make the list of all sources of expected incomes. When you total it up and classify operating cost, and we should add the utilities, telephone, paper goods, electricity, fuels, etc. Then it is the steps in budget planning. Then actually prepare a budget, step by step procedure for preparing a budget. Then it is types of budget. Types of budgets are types of budgets are operative budgets. Then the name itself is self-explanatory and expresses about the plan of monetary resources used for running a food service establishment. These include the budget for setup, forecasting, equipment budget, and salary for employees, repair budget, and budget of purchase. Then we should prepare setup and forecasting. Equipment budgets are there, salary for employees are there, employee salary is also included, repairs budgets are there, budget of the purchase is also there. It is known as operative budget. Then fixed budget, this type of budget is based on fixed annual level of transactions such as number of meals served to the patients in a hospital as per year. As per year we should serve number of patients in a year, we should calculate, and it projects an average cost per meal. And what should be the average cost of the meal per day? We will take it as annually. It is known as fixed budgets. Then flexible budgets. This budget takes into account for the high to low activity figures and provides flexibility in functioning. It does not pinpoint an average figure, thus eliminating rigidity in a budget. Flexible budget means high or low activity figures and providing flexibility in functioning. It manages the flexibility of the food production unit. Then zero based budget is the budget requires managers or persons of authority to give justifications of requisitions of monetary funds and evaluate all activities requiring funds everywhere. In everywhere, we should plan for a investment for a food production unit. Then we should plan for a monetary fund and then evaluate at the end of the year. This is as there is no spills over the balance from previous year to the current year, and each new budgets begin to zero balance, hence the name. Then we should then new budgets begins with a zero balance. We should not investment is further in future also. We should not investment any other in previous year investment. Um, we should continue our business. Then project budgeting is in this list of costing of each activity that are part of the budget and affect the budget most on priority basing in rank. Then the budget is prepared. Managers, supervisors are involved in costing of activities and decision making. The department director views costing as a whole, not a separate entities. Having understood the budget and its importance in a food service unit, now we shall get to know about the different record necessary to maintain on the basis of the operations involved in the food service unit. Then purchase procurement is there, receiving, then storage, then preparation, then production, then holding, packing, and then last one is servicing. It is types of budget is also very important. You should write operative budget, what is fixed budget, what is flexible budget, what is zero budget, then project budget, then last one is flow chart is there, purchase procurement, then receiving, then storage, then preparation, then production, then packing, then service. What is purchase record? We should in figure 9.2 purchase order form is there in your book. Then purchase order form from Tasty Bite Restaurant. One of the example is there, Tasty Bite Restaurant. Serial number is there. You should add the items rice, rasma, besans, oils, ghees, etc. Specification is basmati rice. Then specifications is Sondrop oil is used. In Besan, Rajdhani Besan is used. In Rajma, Chitra Rajma is used. In rice, Basmati used. Then amount is 50 kilo, 20 kilo. Then 20 kilo, 20 kilos are there. Then the amount, the terms and condition payment to be made within 15 days of supply. This is the. It is known as purchase order form. Purchase order form, we should give the address of the company. Then you should put the serial number. Then whatever items you are using, then specification of the stores you are collected the samples. The name the specification of the stocks. Then amount you should put. It is known as purchase order form. In purchase order form, individual making for the request, which is in the case of barogram, and signature of the person who is officially authorized to sign the order. The term condition of payment are clearly indicated. Barogram used similarly form for all of this purchased. Then receiving order. Then receiving order 9.3 in figure 9.3 receiving records are also there. Then you receiving order, you should use date, items, quantity, vendor, then invoice number is there. Receiving order. Then storeroom requisition is also 9.4, given that items are there, quantity orders are there, quantity received are also there. Then items we will mention here. Then quantity order is 30 kilo, received is 30 kilo. Then kabuli chana we will order 10 kilo, then received also 10 kilo. This is known as storeroom requisitions. Then inventory card is also there. Opening balance is on dated 1/1/2024. Received and issues on basmati rice we should receive 20 kilos. Then issues is 20 kilo. Then balance is what? Balance is nothing. Then in that cases receipt is 200 kilo, issues is 70 kilo, remaining this is balance here. Then this is known as perpetual inventory record. We should balance the receipt and issues values, and whatever items we will receive and whatever items we will issue to us, and how much quantity of products we will receive, and remaining balance is known as perpetual inventory card. Then production records, we should prepare one production records. Production records in this the various menu items to be prepared for the current days in listed details. Then production schedules are also there, menu items, quantity to prepare, time schedules are there, as well as the name of the person assigned to prepare each menu is indicated. Then pre-preparation that need to be done in grinding, batter making, making of jams, etc., etc. Then it is known as production records, means whatever items in the production cells, the production area, then whatever food materials are needed to prepare one menu, we should mentioned in the production record. Then in batter making, we need to grind the food materials for making jams, etc. Are the production schedules we should maintain. Here production schedule is there in figure 9.7. Production schedule for tasty bite, urad dal badas, coconut chutney, sambar is there. Quantity is 200 gram, 1.5 kg, then 10 liters sambar is there. Then at the time of 9 a.m. It is known as production schedule. Then idlis, dosas, samosas, it is the quantity is there, time is allocated there. Then it is known as production schedule for the company name is Tasty Bite. Then service record. We should we should maintain one service record also, monthly census report. Then we should mention the monthly census report. We should put the date, then breakfast, then lunch, then dinner, then snacks, then employee meals are also there. Special functions, in case of special function, what extra we will prepare, what extra meals we will prepare, we should mention here. Then total, it is known as census. How much expenditure is in this year, and how much profit is also maintained in this year. This is known as monthly census report. Income and expenditure reports are also there. For this, the cash register record, we should maintain one cash register record. Receipt number is there, total amount other than cash payment. And this other than cash payment, we will pay some online payments is also there, checks are there, we should write here. Then amount is what in cash register. Then cash disbursement record is there. Then cash disbursement record also figure 9.10 is given. Date, you should name of the account, amount paid, then classification expenses account, food, utilities for payroll, for rent, etc. we should mention in the cash disbursement record. Choices of delivery system and services attached to it. Choices of delivery systems are conventional food service system, commissary food service system, ready prepared food service system, and assembly services systems are there. Conventional food service systems are most menu items are produced on the premises and distributed to serving areas distributed to servicing areas close to production facilities. Various types of hot cold holding equipment should be required to maintain the proper temperature for various menu items before serving. Depending on the type of service areas, these holding equipments must be stationary or mobile. Then it is known as what is conventional food service system. In hospital setting, a choice of either centralized, decentralized real assemblies are there, where the number of people are more in a gathering mode. Then serve serve the to the large number of peoples in area. It is known as conventional food service system. Most menus are produced on the premises. The premises foods are produced and distributed to the serving areas close to the production facilities. Various types of hot, cold holding equipment should be required to maintain the proper temperature of the services. Lots of food temperature maintaining equipments are also we are using. କାହିଁକି ସେଟା ପ୍ରେମିସେସରେ ବହୁତ ଲୋକ ଗ୍ୟାଦରିଂ ହେଇଥାନ୍ତି ତ ସେଇଠି ଆମେ ହଟ୍ ଆଉ କୋଲ୍ଡ ହୋଲ୍ଡିଂ equipments must be required would be required to maintain the proper temperature for various menu items. Types of service areas and holding equipments may be stationary or mobile. Then in cases of a wetter services are also there in conventional food services. Wetter services are also there in buffet systems are also there, transported to the required dining areas in modular unit which provide a service counter for sale for wetter services are there in conventional food services, जोटी की बहुत लार्ज अमाउंट रो माने धर गोटे जगह रे हमर गोटे जगह आमर सर्टिफिकेट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होची तो से जगह रे बहुत लार्ज नंबर ऑफ पीपल्स एकाठी होता तो सही हमको हैंडल करबा बहुत कष्ट होता है तो सही आम बुफेट है कि आमर वेटर्स है करिकी बड़ बड़ कंटेनर्स रे हॉट एंड कोल्ड आइटम सर्व कला परे सिस्टमेटिकली वे रे से डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करा जाए. इट इज नोन एज कन्वेंशनल फूड सर्विस सिस्टम. देन कमिशनरी फूड सर्विस systems are centralized production with distribution of prepared menu to several remote areas for service or final production, such as school kitchen, airline catering, distributing, distributing and providing from transporting the food to remote locations of the service centers. These facilities may be closely located or they may be located great distances away from the central production unit in a large commercial chain operation like McDonald's, etc. Commissary food service systems are will prepare food. We should distribute the food in a packed form, such as in air catering, in school kitchens, in service can take forms. This kind of areas in Indian Airlines, then we should distribute in a distribute the menu in a package form or in a depending on the nature of the operations. In school areas, we should distribute the food in rice, dals, vegetables, etc. In airline catering, we should deliver the food as a dry foods areas such as rotis, parathas, puris in dry form, not in wet form. Then distributions of services it may take in many forms according to the distributions by operations area, depending on the nature, whether the food will distributed in dry form, in wet form, or in or in fruits, vegetables, or dry fruits, etc. Variety forms of divisions are there. Sorry, various types of foods or menus are there. According to the nature of the operation, we should deliver the food items to that institutions. Then, provided for transporting the food to remote locations for the service centers. Then, such as these operations are large commercial chain operations like McDonald's. For this reason, this system requires specialized distributing equipment and transported frozen, chilled, and hot in bulk in individual portions. In individual portions, McDonald's distributed in these areas, such as in airline caterings, or the railways caterings are there, or school kitchens, etc. Then ready prepared. One is conventional food services system in marriages, in gathering form of people where they needed food in bulk form. Then this is conventional form of system. Waiters are there to um, control the mass members. Then in commissary food services sector, packed food according to depending on the nature of the operations. Then we should deliver to the patients. Then ready prepared food services are then packed in bulk or individual portion of the combinations in airline services. Two or three menus items may be portion onto individual serving dishes. The type of distribution equipments needed by ready prepared system depends on whether they use a cook chill or cook freeze techniques, and unique characteristics of ready prepared services in the heat processing of prepared items prior to service. Microwave connection to infrared oven is there. Therefore, cold temperature support is needed during the delivery processes. Microwave connection is also there to ready prepared food service systems. Then food service systems are, then the assembly serve system uses foods that are ready to serve or require little or no processing prior to service. Many items are stored in bulk, pre-preparation or pre-plated frozen foods are there. Many are in bulk, stored as bulk, then pre-portioned or pre-plated frozen foods are all there in assembly food service system. When foods are served cafeteria style and bulk form is generally used where the heat processing before service can be done in service unit or auxiliary area. Then it is assembly by food service system. Large number of people are served to require little or processing prior to service. Then we should in assembly system there a queue is made by the persons. Then we should distribute the food in bulk or in pre-portion or pre-prepared frozen foods or in little amount also. It is known to assembly ମାନେ ଯେମିତି ହାତରେ ଦବା କି ଗୋଟେ କ୍ୟୁରେ ଥିବେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁଟ୍ କରି 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 ଯିବା ତ ତାର କିଛି ଗୋଟେ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟିଟି ସେମିତି କିଛି ନଥାଏ. Ready to serve or require little or no processing prior to service. तो तादरे किसी एते processing रो नथाय आउ एते ready to serve जोटा जेमति कि मंदिर मानकरे हमर किछ भोग दिया हला ये हला असेंबली गोटे असेंबल गोटे जगह रे सब लोक होइचंदी तो सेई जगह रे हम किछ क्वांटिटी देखा जायनी तो जहाँ जहाँ हमें दे जाऊ तो सेई अनुसार नियन सेटा हला असेंबली सर्व फूड सर्विस सिस्टम. It is also important choice of delivery service system. Types of service is table, counter service, self service, tray service. Three types of services are there. One is table counter service, another one is self service, then third one is tray services are there. Uses of disposable in the service area. One is storage and cooking. Types of disposables are, one is storage and cooking. First one is storage, we should store the food and then dispose. Then service of food and beverages in plates, knives, forks, cups, etc. Where we should serve the food and beverages, then we should use the plate, knives, forks, cups, etc. Then decoration is also very much important. We should keep napkins, tablecloths, slip cloths, banquet roll, placemats, etc. Then for hygienic, then we should use wipes. For clothing, approved shapes, hats, gloves are there. Uh, Aprons were there, aprons of the shapes and hats, gloves are also there. In packaging for marketing and presentation is very much important. In attractive packaging also there. Then factors which cause the growth of market in disposable or throwaway, the need to reduce cost, difficulty in obtaining labors, cutting the high cost of laundering, improve standard of hygiene, breakage cost minimization is also important, reduction in storage space required, change in cooking and storage technology, need of transport catering on trains, ships and planes. Then fast food development related to customer acceptability. Then equipments and labor reduced. In advantages of these disposables are, then equipments and labor is reduced. In cases of disposable, when we are using disposable, when we will use disposable materials, then equipments also reduced, labors is reduced, standard of hygiene is also improved while we are using disposable materials. Then service can be speed up, then temperature maintained for cooked food is possible. Then in a disposable form, temperature is also maintained very well. Then can be used as promotional aids. We should promote it in very good ways. Then reduce the amount of capital investment. Whatever we will invest in the for purchasing of the equipments, then it will reduce the amount of capital investment. Easily transported also, cheaper than hiring conventional equipments. It is also very cheaper than the conventional equipments, and it is these are the advantages. These disadvantages are customer acceptability may be poor. In advantages, it is these are the advantages. Disadvantages are customer acceptability may be very poor. Then may not be very cost effective as the amount required is more and may be written that by conventional equipment. Then large quantities, especially back of quantities are required. Large number of disposable containers are required. There is great reliance to supply and delivery time. Disposal of disposal of large quantities of disposable poses problem to some extent. Then disposal of large quantity of disposable poses problem to some extent. In some extent, disposal amounts of people are throwing here and there and not properly disposed in a way. These are the disadvantages of the disposal container. Then different types of, in unit 11, food management, delivery and food service styles. Different types of service in food service establishment. What are the types of services? So let's types of services in food service establishment are establishment, type of customer to be served, time available for a meal, for a time available for the meal, turnover of customer client, type of menu presented, cost of the meal served, site of the establishment. Then we have to first then types of establishment. What are the types of establishment? Then types of customer to be served. What types of customer we will serve? Then time is also important. Time available for a meal. Then turnover of customer by clients. What are the turnover of the clients? Whether it gives us profit or not. Then types of menu presented. What kinds of menu we are presented? Cost of the meal served. Then what are the cost of the each meal we are served to the clients. Then site of the establishment. What are the establishment status? These are the different types of service in food service establishment. Then table and counter services are there, self services are there, and tray services are there. It is very much important. It is very important question. Different types of service in food service establishment. One is table and counter service is there, self service is there, tray service is there. Table and counter services is then it is most commonly used service in the commercial segment of the industries. It is very common in serving in the commercial segment of the in a commercial in a office in a office in a while we are planning for a planning for a meetings while we are planning for a meetings then office we should prefer to table or counter service. Then it can be extremely single or elaborate. It distinguishes characteristic in service by a waiter and waitresses. And waiter and waitresses is there who are standing along with table where the menu is served. Where the menu is served, where the menu is served on the table, then the waiter is standing or standing along with the table. Then often table and counter services may be combined. The handling and controlling of guest checks is a major concern in the types of service. All items are charged, proper prices are charged, all payments have been settled. Then points of control would be checking of all items are charged, all items will be given a cost. Then proper prices are also charged. Then all payments has been settled in table or counter service. In self services, self services is characteristic of the food services industry with variation like counter pickup, takeaway, drive through, and buffets, vending machines, refreshment stands, And public places, mobile food services units are known as self-service. Those who are preparing food on their own and serve the food in street vending zones, etc., such as buffets. Vending machines are there, refreshment stands are there in public places, and mobile food services unit could be placed in the category. This is known as self-service. In self-service, there is cafeteria services there. Cafeteria service is often used in industrial and employment fitting operations. In employment areas, in office areas, own cafeteria are open, and customer queuing in line formation past a service counter and choosing their menu requirements stages and loading them on the tray or a plate. In cafeteria, they were served the clients with a plate. On a tray or a plate, it is common to see self-busying tray and dishes. It is common practices to lower labor cost. And in cafeteria service, lower labor cost were there. Then then buffet system. Buffet service is used in commercial and institutional food service. It is also known as institutional and commercial food service. It is gained popularity over the years because of the convenience as well as satisfaction. College, school, hostel, employee cafeterias in hospitals or industrial organization, events like receptions, coffee parties, promotional campings, etc. We will use buffets. Food items like main dishes are there, salads are there, desserts are there, beverages are there in a separate counters. And then we should, then buffet options, many courses may be served in a using a table service. In a table service, buffets are served. Then people will take according to their choices. It's known as buffet, and it will very convenience in school, colleges, hostels, employees, cafeterias, in hospitals, hotels, etc. In marriage parties, in birthday parties, we also use in buffet. Then vending machines. Vending machines are used for self-dispensing of items like hot and cold beverages, chocolates, and some places the items like sandwiches and snacks. In vending machines, it is also a self-serving self-service. It is also comes under self-services. Vending machines are there, and it is vending machines offers the advantages of automatic dispensing of the customer at any cost and contract basis and served in the maintained by the service personnel to the food service organization. This can be done by minimal training given to the food service employees. Then vending machines are also known as self-service. Then hot cold beverages are there, chocolates, the sandwiches are also prepared in vending machines. Then these are the table counter services. In table counter services, these all services are given. Self services. Then in self services, cafeteria services is there, buffet is there, vending machines are there. In self services, one is table counter, second one is self service, then third one is tray service. Tray service in which food is carried to a person. Tray service in which food is carried to a person by a food service employee used by healthcare institutions and for in flight meal services in the airline industry. Room service in hotels is a variation of tray service. Tray services are very much popular in railway or in airlines, then in healthcare institution, in hospitals, in flight meal services, airline industries, etc. Tray services are available there. Then in tray services, different types are also there. Hospital tray services, patient receive their meal presented appetizingly on the plate and pipping a hot. Labor and administration costs can be reduced. Time originally spent in the ward. The patient is able to select the meal required from a given menu. According to the disease condition, we should serve the patients in a hospital. It is known as hospital tray facilities. The food must be served in their rooms, patient's room. Then B is airline tray service. In airline tray service, when all the food has been prepared, The required quantities of each dish are placed on trays, which are either put on the hot cupboards and kept hot until being transported into the plane, or alternatively are chilled and stored in the catering unit until required, and when necessary reheated on board the aircraft. Each airline will supply its own equipment such as tableware, china, glassware, etc. In one is hospital tray services there, another one is airline tray services is there. Then in airline tray services, then it will be chilled and stored in the catering unit. It should be chilled and stored in the hot unit. Hot and cold both are stored in the disposable or in a glassware, tableware, china, etc. are there. Each airline will supply its own equipments. In airlines, in each airline, they were supplying their own equipments. This is also important question. One is table counter service, self service is there, and tray service is there. It is also important types of services items. We have already studied that conventional studies, what is conventional, what is commissary service, what is ready prepared services. It is very much important. Then food flow in ready prepared food service items. Flow chart is there. Assembly services are there. Then conduct and appearance of service unit personnel. What are the conduct and appearance of service unit personnel? One is clothing. A waiter or waitress is usually required to wear some form of uniform. The clothing is very much important in a food service management. Then the waiter or waitresses who are serving the food should wear the uniform according to their instructions. At the time when dress was more formal and all levels of society, wearing uniform was to distinguish staff from customers. The customers then the waitresses must wear their institutional uniform with clean form. Then hygiene is also required, encouraging the section of suitable, protective, then washable clothing, keeping the wearer cool and healthy, and enabling frequent laundering and changes of the clothing. It must be hygiene and it must be washable, and also it is very light, and for frequent laundering and changes of clothing is also important. Then rules for dresses are also there. Change washable clothes frequently and wear freshly laundered clothing, etc. Then after clothing, then headdress is also important. The former requirements for the waitresses to wear caps has increased decline. One original intention was that cap would confine hair tidily and prevent loose hairs dropping into the food. The headdresses is very important. Why? Now prevent loose hair dropping into the food. And with proper hair styling and grooming, there is no particular reason to headdress to be worn modern wedding. It is the main cause is to prevent from loose hair dropped into the food items and it contaminated the food. That's why headdress is important. Then personal qualities. The desirable personal qualities for wedding staff may be considered two broad headings. One largely contribute physical manners and hygiene is very much important. physical matters and hygiene. The other related to attribute is courtesy, honesty, and cooperation, and soft spoken. Spot spoken is very much necessary. Honesty is required. Then cleanliness, hygiene, and courtesy is also required, and cooperative and cooperation is very much important in personal qualities. In hygiene, the waiter or waitress needs abundant energy, and they should maintain hygiene and should involve taking care of it and sleep properly, being temperate in the relation of alcohol, taking proper exercise, sufficient outdoor activities, fresh air, etc. And their dress must be clean, hands should be clean before taking food. Hmm. Renal sign hand must be cooked, a hand must be properly clean. Then hand must be properly clean, and before touching the food and after defecation hand should be clean. This is the how to maintain the hygiene in food service unit. Then reporting ill health. If you are suffering from any contagious diseases, then report to your hospitality manager and take medicine and proper rest, and don't touch the foods items while you are suffering from contagious diseases. Then diarrhea or vomiting, septic ulcer, sores, boils or wheat loaves are there, discharge from eyes, nose, ears. If you are suffering from this kind of contagious diseases, then stop touching the foods. These are the these are the conduct and appearance of food service personnel. Then rules for clean products are: we should clean the hand, face, parts of the bodies, clean the clothes, then keep personal clothing, uniform clean, etc. etc. Never smoke, snuff, and handling open food while in a room where such food can be duty. These are the rules for clean products. And care of the person is body cleanliness required. Fingers, nails of the fingers and hands must be short, then also clean. Then hair must be tied with a cap. Then teeth should be properly cleaned every day. And then feet, you should clean your feet. Then you should erect your posture. Then behavior will be very you should politely behavior with the clients while addressing the guest. These are the care of the persons. What are the barriers in communication? Methods of communication and barriers of communication. Methods of communications are: communication within an organization should be clearly established. Different managers and leaders, depending on the size of the organization, location, and the state of modern technology adapted for networking, have used a number of methods. Then verbal. Number one is verbal, or through talking or word of mouth, it is generally called. Then written in the form of order, letter, memo in black and white, it may be handwritten or typed. We should method of communication must be verbal. We should speak with your leaders or with your managers. Then in written form, we should in the form of order, letter, etc. Then audio visual in the method, we should what is used said be explained, help in the visual aids like screen on television or computers, or by use of posters, booklets, leaflets, blackboards, chalk, etc. In audio visual, you should use the audio visual telephones, then net, then posters, booklets, etc. In interactive, these methods are followed by a group of people, all of whom express their opinion in subject of discussion. In interactive or in a group discussion, we should discuss our matters in a group discussion method or a form. Or interactive methods are also used in formal setting by an interview board or selection of staffs. These are the methods of communication. It is also important. Then what are the barriers of communication? It is also important. One is physical barrier, one is psychological barrier, then one is psychological, mental, emotional barrier, one is environmental barrier. One is physiological, one is physical barrier, one is physiological barrier, one is psychological barrier, one is the third one is environmental barrier. Then physical barrier means poor listening the language, unplanned messages. These are the physical barriers are there. She or he is unable to listen. She is unable to or accept the theme of the manager. She is unable to accept the theme of the or she is unable to understand the theme of the message forwarded by the managers ଯାହା ବି ମେସେଜ ଫରୱାର୍ଡ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେଇଟା ସେ ଠିକ ଭାବରେ ବୁଝି ପାରୁନି ବା ଠିକ ଭାବରେ ଶୁଣି ପାରୁନି ତାପରେ ସେ କ'ଣ କରିବ ନା ଅନପ୍ଲାନ୍ଡ ମେସେजेस ଆର୍ remain with the persons so ସେ ସେଇଟା properly plan she should not plan in proper way due to the poor listening of the language. Then psychologically is poor language, bad memory is there in a few minutes, in a few times she can't his memory is very poor. Then poor language is there, bad memory is there, nature and behavior, ear defect is there, speech defect is there, illness is there. It is physiological. And then in psychological, assumptions, distorted statements, lack of interest, then emotional states, poor human relations, poor concentration. He or she have poor concentration because he did not concentrate on the main theme. She was unable to concentrate on the main theme, and then lack of interest. She don't have any interest on this discussion. Then emotional state is also there. Poor human relations with other humans is not good. So ସେଇଟା ହେଲା psychological barriers. Then environmental barriers are faulty equipments, noise, soft voice, culture, other disturbances. Then equipments are proper equipments are not there to stop the clients. Then noises are there, soft voices, then uh, culture of the environment, then other disturbances are there. It is known as environmental barriers. This is very important question. Then what is the responsibility of a dietitian? It is also very important. What is the responsibility of the dietitian? Main responsibility is to take the patient care. To patient care is most important responsibility of a dietitian. Then counseling of disease recurrence or preventions. She or he counsel the patients about the disease and plan for their preventions. Then menu planning for staff, patients and visitors. She should plan for the staffs, patients and for visitors also. Different dietitians are there in different sectors. That's why in hospitals, the dietitians plan for patients, and in other areas, it will plan for the in hospitals. The dietitian will plan for patients as well as for staffs also. Then in other areas, then she should plan for the visitors. Then thorough monitoring through being part of the medical team. She will monitoring the medical team. Then management department through all administrative work like budgeting, purchasing, etc. For budgeting, for purchasing of material, for patient's menu, then issued planned by the dietitian. Then make department financially food sustaining. And it tries to make the department financially good financial for good financial status. She tried for the good financial status of the hospitals or their working areas. Then teaching nutrition and dietetics to medical and nursing students, and the dietitian should teach the nutrition dietetics related to medical and nursing staffs on the job training of the internees from various institutions. Uh, she also trained the internees from the various institution coming to our hospitals. She also trained the internees. Then organization seminars for updating staff. Then she organizes seminars for updating the staffs regarding dietetic and nutrition. Research in dietetics also conduct research in dietetics on the job training internees from various institutions. And these are the responsibility of dietitian is very important. Then sample job description is planning menus for catering supervisor. Job requirement description of the head chef in the restaurant kitchen. What are the job requirements? Then planning menus with catering supervisors, requisitioning ingredients from stores, then checking deliveries with requisition slip. We have already studied in previous classes about the requisition in the ingredients from stores, checking delivery to requisition slips, checking quality of food received from stores, allotting works to team members in the kitchen, guiding staffs in preparation and cooking techniques, preparing main dishes, finishing dishes on menus, testing for quality. Quality testing is very important. Dishing out, holding food at right temperature till required for services, getting next day's menus checked, ingredient request made store for issues, and locking up the handing over work to next person on duty. Hand over to the other persons. Then getting kitchen clean and sanitized for next days. Getting preparation done like peeling, cutting, reading dishes to bake the records, representing till record. This is the sample job descriptions of a head chefs in restaurant kitchen or in a hospital kitchen, etc. She should plan for next days. Then steps in planning. What are the steps in planning? Gathering information. We should gather. We should collect information. Then developing staff structures. We should develop the staff structure. We are working in kitchens. We are in distributing. We are in servicing. We are in utility, etc. Developing staff structures. Then setting goals and target. Then we will plan for a setup, and we will keep some targets also. Then gathering information, we should gathering informations means some policies were there and some finances services to offer, law regarding staff employment, wages act, compensation, leave rules, etc. are coming under gathering information. So we should gather, we should collect information regarding this, or we should we should follow the policies of the information. We should policies for to start a food service setup. Then developing staff structures are these are the certain jobs required in staff from on call. Certain roles to customers, waiters are there, and utilities members are there. These are called as developing staff structures. Then setting goal and targets. Then we should plan for a health this food service unit, and then we should focus for the profit or target some for benefits of the establishment unit. Then staff scheduling. What is staff scheduling? How will you scheduling the staff? Staff scheduling involves the chatting out the work and time of each members and department of the everyone concerned knows that where the person will be and job that is performing, where the person is coming from, such as chief chef is there, assistant cook is there, then utility staffs are there, then helpers are also there. Then we should prepare on work schedule about that. And the self-service canteen in some establishment is work schedule may be called as time and activity plan. We should proper scheduling. It is important to analyze the tasks to perform on any day. In catering, the production day can be divided into low and high production period, and understanding of which is essential for staff scheduling. Staff and work schedule can be prepared as executive dietitian, then timing is 9 to 5, then dietitian, it is chief dietitian is 9 to 5, and then dietitian is 7 to 3, then assistant dietitian is 12 to 8. These are the work schedules of the persons who are working in food service unit. Then head cook is 8 to 4, assistant cook is 6 to 4, shift duty is also there. Assistant cook is 12 to 8, utility work is 10 to 6. These are the start time schedule for a hospital kitchen. What is this recruitment? Manager usually believe that recruitment is known as selection, are, are the terms often used to interchangeably. While recruitment process selection, recruitment is the process of attracting qualified candidates for the purpose of filling vacant job positions in an establishment. For a food service establishment, recruitment is the process we should selected one qualified candidates who can control this food service management. जे कि फूड सर्विस मैनेजमेंट को कंट्रोल करुवा अकॉर्डिंग टू दर क्वालिफिकेशंस एंड क्वालिटीज, then she or he should be selected for that job or post or positions. It is known as recruitment. Executive requirements are a clear idea of job requirements there. Then general information about the applicant's age, qualification, experiences, skills, objectives, interests, health status and backgrounds, etc. as required for the in the process of recruitment. Then projection of fairly realistic but favorable images of the establishment in order to attract the right people. The projections are fairly realistic and we should choose the right persons. These are the three qualities or requirements for the recruitment for the recruitment who are working in the food service management. Then sources of requirements are through media, through colleges and institutions, through recommendations, employment exchanges, then professional associations are also sources of recruitment. Then through media, we should publish. In media, we can exploit it at televisions, radios, notice boards, voicemails, SMS, messaging, etc. Internet services about our requirements. We should advertise in media. Then colleges and institutions. Management institute can contact with meritorious students looking for the job, or a vacancy notice may be placed on their notice board for attention. They should select it to their right students who are on the notice board they were published in the notice board. Then campus interviews are another very useful way of judging potential, and they should select it through their campus for their recruitment. They should, in colleges and institutions, they should select it their capable students. Then recommendations. Existing staffs of the establishment may be asked to recommend people they know in their trade, who are then be interviewed and tested for required skills. Friends and other catering establishment may be contacted for recommendations from their list of interview candidates. whom they are found good but could not employ. Those who are unemployed and they were found good, they will be recruited for the post. Then employment exchanges are also bureau maintain a list of unemployed members who may be recommended according to the job skill required. The employment exchanges also they were enrolled in the employment exchanges. Lots of people are enrolled in the employment exchanges. They should get the informations about the recruitment in employment exchanges. Then professional associations. These bodies such as catering, restaurant associations, management associations, hotel and catering consultants maintain a list of their members along with their CVs. These associations may be contacted for recommendations or the advertisement placed in professional journals for senior management position. Then professional associations also through the association, management association, etc. They were chosen. Then requirement procedures are we should now first of all, they should submit their biodata or CV for consideration and apply for their own handwriting. Then application forms are expected to help the organization to obtain data regarding age, qualification, experience. Then once the application date is over, then the forms are collected and presented in the manner and introduced and the rest of the field, the process of making list and the priority known as recruitment and it known as recruits and the interview is going on. After these steps are after these steps, then interview is going on. Then we should select the candidate according to their qualifications and best of knowledge. Then say information exchanged. Then information exchanged between organization and candidate. How the information is exchanged between organization and candidate? One is organization. How the information is exchanged through organization to candidate. Then organization level of pay. Then opportunity for promotion and development. Then benefits, degree of job security, limitations of the job. It should be delivered to the candidate. Candidate must have knowledge, skill, aptitude, motivations, experience and past performance also there. Then the organization delivered these um, the organization delivered these things to the candidate and candidates must have knowledge, skill, aptitude, motivations, experience, past and performance. Is the information exchange between organization and candidates. Then steps involved are enumerated is as preparations of the job requirement, steps in selection. What are the steps of selection? Steps of selection are preparation for job requirements, screening applications, identify skills through specific test. We should give specific test according to our post. Then evaluation test is also there. Then holding interview as the interview bodies. We should face the interviewing bodies. Then holding interviews and personality and with confidence we will other traits such as confidence praise are also there. Then assessment of two referees, medical last medical examination is there whether the person is suffering from contagious disease or not because it is a food service unit. Then staff retentions. Then training processes are providing informations, counseling staffs are there, managing stress, then group influences are there, sensitivity training is there, group dynamics is there, feedbacks is also there, and structural change is there. Then providing information through pamphlets, magazines, journals, other medias. This method is useful, the updating the staffs. Then counseling the staff. How will you counseling the staff? In favorable to change, they can be directed towards desired goals, etc. Counseling may be done in individual basis or in a group basis. So we should counsel the patient about their job descriptions. Then managing stress. Stress is the syndrome which shifts in the people's lives and various reasons affecting them in the physical, but physiological, mental, emotional level irrespective of the literacy level. So the work stress may be due to heavy workload and inadequacy at the job. So we should this unfortunately affect the work environment also and hurried man or woman on the time. So managing, we will control, we will counsel the clients about the managing stress. We should fully, we should keep our mind cool and work and not in hurried form. Then if the stress is due to overwork, the action can be help in relieving and the relaxation or rest. Then increase our capacity to bear heavier load, readjust the way we look to work, increase our capacity. We should adjust the workload. Then we should build a physical emotional strength. We should increase our emotional and physical strength. Then if the mind is not clear, because control thought to work methodologically, done one job at a time, eat while eating, work while work. At the time of eating, we should concentrate on eating. While we are doing in work, we should concentrate on the work. Do not take work home or bring thought to work to home. Then we should concentrate on the work according to the situations and conditions. Then if worry or anxiety affect the performance of the work, then relax, learn to relax, remove negative emotions, act but do not think too much. Concentrate mind at work. Then erase anger, fear, jealousy and hatred. Sharp and help. These are the managing stress. We should control. Then feedbacks group influence is there, and it is the harness group energy to introduce change or inject positive attitude to work. It is known as group influence. We should work in a group in a very cooperative manners. Then sensitivity training is method of training utilizes the fact that people are more sensitive to their own strength and weakness than to those of others. So training can be make the training that can make people aware to enhance their strength. Then group dynamic is very much important. Group dynamic deals with training all the employees in a group who are then involved in bringing about the changes. Group dynamic is very essential. Then feedback. Last one is feedback. Getting feedback through survey, questionnaire, optionaries are there. Helps to produce strong whether some changes are required or not. Whether some changes are there, whether changes are not required. We should give in our feedback form. Then structural changes. Structural changes means training is no longer views on a process of doing things to people, but rather structural of situation in which the learning process are optimized. On the job trainings, and in we should give some on job trainings are there. We should other skills are also there. We should available some skills trainings, then job trainings, etc. Structural changes needed while we were uh, arranging this kind of job training, skill trainings, etc. These are known as structural changes. Thank you.